Behind every man there's a wall. Behind me, a shadow. The whites of my eyes reflect the mad swirl of the hydraspace. Sprays of blood speckle the dwindle of my black coat. When I crossed the river the monsoon night, the drawl of time touched me. I gazed at myself. The man astride, a sweet tremble, a sun ray. The mirrors of production to this day pride that their horses are my descendants. Fair glory in the darkening mist. Centaurs lost between the prophet and his majesty Iskandar, the two-horned. Time is a rubbish bin. Entropy is actual. The mock of tears a genome. The face of Bamian was yours, O Salpian princess. Hey you, kind of like to inform you hearsay. When time had come for Mama, she perched on the birth stool and went into labor. Mama's boyfriend, the Dionysian lover of pharaonic origin, urged her, "Now Harry, contain yourself. Struggle against the pressure of nature, reel off the pain, darling. Look at that, Zeus is clutching the serpent. Now I see a beautiful breast. Beautiful, beautiful." Scorpio's nigh the horizon, the sun sprite. He doesn't like the beasts of heaven yoked together and going backward. We'll kick him who spawned this hour, hell out of heaven. Grip yourself strong, girl. Cancer dominates the cargo, and Saturn, as you know, was the victim of a prank by his children. They castrated him at the root's spriggy bush and hurled him into Neptune of the seas. Now dead god Pluto maketh way to the majestic Jupiter. Hold tight, for if you give birth now, you get a eunuch. Hold your breath. Think of Hades. The boxed moon in a bull-drawn chariot has dropped off the zenith to descend once again to temptation, and is now embracing the olive-skinned herdsman Endymion. He gets to die fire. There he passes, Mercury, remind of Diogenes, the open masturbating oddball, of Pindar, so long dead, the emerald horns next to the ill-omened star. Pindar shall wait in the noble lashes of Thebes, and he'll give birth to a quarrelsome pedant, a monster, Jupiter again, deflowerer of virgins, sprung of the loins of Europa, is now high in the Mercury rivulet between Aquarius and the fish. Just a moment, milady, will be a laughing stock. Not so the archer, but the bow is broken. Patient love, the arrow should strike the sky. Mars, lad-headed lover of mules and peace, but the sun again reveals him naked and armed in the adulterous bed, shall only raise a great commotion around himself. Ah, there she comes, that loving Venus, mother of Cupid, the killer of swine-headed Adonis. Capricorn is high, Libra is in the ascendant. I can see the moon wax dapple in a blur mist. Whoever is born in this chair of benefaction will take on the luster of the women of Byblos in a man's body. Slow, slow, turn the horned Amon, shall be designated as the world ruler. Open up now. To die at the call of his birth star. 32 years, 8 months. And I straight fell to the ground. There wasn't even a cushion, and the tottering palace of Pella was shaken. When my cuckolded pa, Philip the Conqueror, saw Mom, he said, "Let him be raised in the memory of my son by my previous wife, who died." To make a long story short, I was weaned by a nursemaid, while Mama spurted her milk in naked orgy by the wild flames of serpentine groves, and the king of Macedon was confused. Alpha male that he was, so confused he began to be called Confucius. He thought that I no way resembled him, my hair a bonfire. Neither styling grease nor pomatum had the slightest effect of it. My eyes asymmetrical, the left one higher than the right, my teeth exuded a black light. Nor did he sire me, or was I an apparition drifting rather like a dream through the city invoked by Mama, her oral assurance that I was of the line of Zeus. Thus my conception. How remote is our destiny, princess, now that you're in a musketeer. The night he cavorted in its chamber suddled with his Persian muse, and the soft, wistful Hephaestion. I heard the rustle of your silk robe, diaphanous. Blue spars of clouds played on the amber moon, and from my stone-bound stable I pawed the ground and snotted, then neighed discreet. You had looked toward me, but all you could have seen was the white blaze, a hot triangle, emblazoned on my forehead, the legend, the martyr, the ox brand. From the darkness, I was gazing at you. You are not a stag, and I no more the perception of Xenophon, no more the wings of Pegasus. By each stamp a symbol, deep furrowed hooves. So broad were my chest, by neck an arch like Homer's game cock, mane unruly clotted, and I was higher than any horse shall ever be. My legs the rippling dance of muscle, my padded back, my deep haunches, your Thessalian battle charger. You are the spirit of Damascus now, and I, what am I? They call him here Kasturi, this land a no man's land, Kashmir. Seek the deep glens, the higher ledges, for huntsmen lust after you. They would tie up the blood clotted at his navel, cut it away. The navel is the cord they seek. You might have not seen it. Do you know, it is about the size of a duck's egg and contains a clotted, oily, friable matter, darkish brown in color, the essence. The sun was up, the slaughter complete. I reared up and neighed a rattle scream and turned on my hind legs only to glare at my shadow one more time, right in front of me, mimicking every flicker of my ache. The little vessel who carried the glory of a celestial destiny, the time-worn, weather-beaten man. They had risen so low, shelling the rambling grass. I was nearly 31, halfway aged. and perhaps weaker than Pegasus. He was winged. He was the mount of God, Zeus, Apollo, Heracles. I was the mount of man, or rather a boy set on fire early, a chock full of misery. But he wasn't my Bellerophon. You were. That night under the November moon, when the Persians played the wedding song in their plaintive pipes, from Memphis to Judea, from Persepolis to Bulk, from Bulk to Badakhshan, to the very frontiers of Takshila. They are all centaurs, princess, in keeping with their nature. Just as the human part was incomplete, so too the power of reasons. As men they despise the arrows because they are harmless, as beasts incapable of understanding the bedevilment of man. So they charge regardless, like drones, macabre and innocent. The mares showed us the way, and we forward marched from the Oxus, the principality of the Amazon, to the Indus, and then to the Hydaspes, the campfire and the unrelenting rain, the foals we had tethered behind. Hey girl, I finished my education in a hurry. That old Stygian they called Aristu was a freak. So damn curious was he. I remember one day in the Nymphian woods of Medza, he broke a pebble into two, then one half he broke again, and so on, to see if there was a speck of gold or a void. In his cave he concocted the potion. The stone was gall in time. Be that as it may. I'll tell you a fun story, for he wished me a mortal. In our war games, when I intuited one side worsted by the other, I dashed off to the winning side and helped them win again. I laugh and I laugh. In military exercises with the youths, my companions springing on asses by the tombs of the gods, I rode with them, harnessing mad asses with pure joy, far more a challenge than the broken stallions. Now I must admit, as you drag me back, had not father tamed the consciously mad cold of the ox brand with a little hemlock, his terrifying whinny became a ninny. Then by Apollo I couldn't have spared it to be mine. To bridle his unbridled, his groom always mixed hemlock with barley and fodder. One day, I came from behind and kissed Pa. He was shaken. "What do you want, sweet son of tat?" He smiled begrudgingly. "To take part in the Olympic Games, Pa." "For what event have you been training, lad, my donk Willie?" "The chariot race, Pa." "Child, I'll provide you with serrated wheels, contest well. Devote your vigor to training for the event. Has great prestige. Go. Your body double shall go with you. Bless." So I arrived at the mount. Beside me, a faction lovely, the slow walker of 11-league fame. There we encountered Nicholas of Andrias, king of Acarnania. A boastful man, he conjured the pluck to greet me so. Hail, toddler. I was 11, and he called me thus. I replied, "Do not humble yourself so, O King Nico, and therefore glory in the assumption that your life will last for eternity. For fate is accustomed to stick to one place, but the fickle of balance makes mock of the humble man. Much regards." "Your thoughts are an aberration. It concerns me, baby," Nicholas said in indifference. "You're here as a spectator or a competitor?" "Both," I replied. "To compete with you in the chariot race and to watch you topple." "But I shall also be participating at the pancratius, to boxer, a wrestler," Nico gestured as if to remind me of the versatility of his powers. And I was compelled to reply, "I've come for the chariot race. You shall learn from the future what is there in the future." He was touched to the quick. "See, what a path Olympic Games have now come." He whined, he rode and spat at me. As I had a cold, my spittle was thicker, yellowed, rancid. So the day came. We lined up for the race. The trumpet sounded the fanfare for the start. The standard bearer signaled to the empty crowd. The starting gates were raised, and we burst forth on our chariots. Nico crashed out first, for he was 80 stones. 7 of Corinth rode back when up a slope. My fiercest opponent, Lebanon tires were flayed ribbon. Thanks, Bob. Thanks, your serrated wheels. And I decelerated to the finish line. Crowned with the olive wreath, I returned home, hero, tales of celebration. Tom Philip from Macedonia, like the sun on his horses, he drove the chariot and blotted out all the other stars. Like father, like son, generous king conqueror, for the olive wreath, surely in the spirit of Heracles the Olympian, who proclaimed a gold coin to each of his subjects, his glorious face imprint. Proud we are that there be now two glorious face, shining in our raised palms. Hail glory! It wasn't me he rode when he surveyed the crucified survivors of Tyre. I wasn't there to see the dismemberment of the Prince of Gaza. I was hemlocked during the massacre of Branchidae somewhere in Central Asia. Blind, blinkered, while Persepolis went up in flames. Blue moon, high, high on the Quark Pass, Bactria. The sharp wind whipped my snout. The shiver of your image ripped through me. He put his face down and covered it with my mane. Hunched and frozen, I looked down the precipice and trotted back. Night and beautiful by the torches. We slept together in hay. With tender care he embalmed my lacerating hide. An ointment extracted out of a raisin of the plant that botanists identify as Sylphian. You shall find it, my friends, if you care to, unto this day, in the bazaars of Merv and Bukhara, even in Lahore, where to this day the Mujahideen guerrilla views it to heal toxic wounds. 100 pillars in the rolling fans, 15 Alexandrias, 1 Bucephala. Syria to Java. To the Muslims, he's a great folk hero. In the Quran Sharif, he a mystery too hard, who with his will shall kill Gog and Magog in the teeth of apocalypse. His choleric rage an icon of what a man should be. In the book of Daniels, the third beast to unleash blood tide. To the Bratons, mist and earth like all one. The Jinna's office, an insect but not to be trammeled. Anatya, Shunyata, to the ephemeral Buddhas. Yet fade we all, love evaporate, light and weightless, a feather of a golden falcon. Time is the sea lapping our feet, bringing back the detritus of froth and corpses. Yet in harvest the sea part wide, not a desert sand.